have just now passed 9,000 miles on this beautiful 911 Carrera S. And what better way to celebrate that milestone, or I guess achievement, than to actually take it on a long drive. So as you can see here right now, I'm 9,103 miles, which is just insane given the fact that I've only owned it for less than 4 months. But regardless, this video I'm just gonna cover overall what it was like driving this car for the past 4 months, what I love about it, what I hate about it, or I guess dislike about it, and things that I've learned over the past 4 months just driving this absolutely beautiful car. And given the fact that it's also my daily, I have learned a lot about it. So let's put it in drive, let's put it in sport. So before we even begin, that's one of the things I can mention. There we go. So I put in normal mode, automatically turned off. So for that reason, I have stopped driving in normal mode. Always, when I start driving now, I just put it in sport mode. That way, it doesn't automatically turn off. And the auto stop, you can't really turn it off. So one way to have to do that is you have to go manually each time. And luckily, I have it set up here. If I can find it. Never mind, I moved it away. But you can easily set it up to turn it off and turn it off easily. I don't want to do that, so doing it in sport, changing to sport drive mode, that was the easiest way to get rid of that auto start stop. Because if it always turned off at the wrong time, I'll be coming down a hill, I'll be going up in a hill. So I am happy that I'm done driving in sport. So let's go for a drive. And to make it a little bit more spicy, I'm going to put it in manual mode. You can already tell why I love this car, why I'm always driving it. Just drive it 5 minutes and you'll understand why I have been driving it the past 4 months over 9,000 miles. It's just a beautiful car, amazing car, like the way it sounds, the way it handles, just marvelous. And I am going to turn on the sport suspension right now, so it's a bit more stiff. Oh, look at that! I just got the oil service in 9,000 miles notification. That's a first. So now would be, I guess, a good time to chat about my oil change. So I've had this car for, like I said, 4 months. My first oil change was at 600 miles. So that was way before I did my road trip all the way to San Diego. And the reason for that was because I really wanted to get rid of any impurities or any metal shavings that might have been, I guess, part of the oil after the engine braking process. So it was either that, it was either 600 miles or almost like 300 miles after I drove it cross country. So I chose for the earliest option, just went ahead and changed it to 600. And if you've been following the channel, you probably know that already. My second oil change came about like 6,000 miles. So the reason I did that was because I was heading over to the track, and that was my first track event at Chuckwalla. So I like to do my oil change every 5,000 miles. So it was way past due, and I also wanted to go to the track with like a really fresh oil, so the engine can, because it's gonna be a very stressful, I guess, a couple of days for the engine. So I wanted to go in with a fresh oil. So that was my oil change. Oil change with this car is pretty simple. I have not done, I guess, how to do an oil change video because there are plenty of resources out there, and I guess some of you have been asking me about that. So I'll get working on that. I already have a video, I just have to edit it. So stay on the lookout for that. And it was pretty simple, like especially on the 992.2 Carrera S. It is very easy do your oil change. I'll say it takes me about maybe 40 minutes, and half that time I'm just waiting for the oil to drain. So yeah, that's pretty much it for oil. Other maintenance. So I guess this car is a bit unique because not only is it my daily driver, it's also my track car now. So that's one thing I love, I guess, about this car. It can do whatever you want. It can be your daily driver. It can be your autocross car. It could be your track car. It could be your road trip car. I have done all of the above, and it has done amazingly well. And for my road trip, I have a roof box. So I just put a roof box on it, and people say you can't really fit a lot. Trust me, you can fit a lot in this car. So there's also the back seats, which you can turn into a shelf. There's a lot of storage area, but personally I don't like to put anything in the back because, especially on a road trip, you're just asking for someone to break into your car. So that's why I love the roof box. I like to keep my back seats empty, so if anyone is peeping into my windows, they will see nothing. And front, tons of space, a lot of space. You can put in a lot of stuff in there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for storage. Oh my goodness. So after having this car for 2 weeks, the one thing I really complained about was the sound. Like, it sounded so muted, it sounded so boring. And because one way to resolve that, what I did was I installed a valve controller on it, because I really didn't want to do any mods or any tunes, because I like to keep my warranty. So for that reason, I just went out, got a valve controller, installed it, made it honestly much better. It made it sound like much better compared to what it was initially, just because it opens up the valves to 100%, so that way you're able to hear a lot of the burbles. You're able to hear like much more of the turbos. I don't know if you heard that right now, but you can hear the turbos really well with the valves open. So that's one of the reasons I added the valve controller. It doesn't necessarily fix the way the car sounds. Like, to me personally, I love the way the 991.2 Carrera sound. It sounds so much deeper than this car. This car, I think, is much more like I'll say high pitch compared to those generations. But yeah, all this matters if you're driving it below 3,000 or 4,000 RPM. If you're driving it above 4,000 RPM, this car sounds absolutely amazing. Yeah, so if you're driving it at a very low RPM, there's a high chance you're not going to enjoy this car. But then again, it's a sports car. You're supposed to drive it at a very high range. Like, for example, this car goes all the way up to red lines at 8,000 RPM. I guess 7,500 RPM. And another thing, I guess, comes down to is the price. So this Carrera S fully optioned came out to almost 100 grand. And when I shared that, a lot of people commented saying, oh, all that for a Carrera S, or that for a Carrera, you should have got a turbo, you should have got a turbo S, you should have got a GT3 RS. Like, personally, I am way happier with the Carrera S because it is the perfect fit for me. It's my perfect daily car, it's my perfect road trip car, track car, you get the point. And the reason for that is, like, if I were to buy a turbo S or anything else, really, like, that would be too much car for me. Like, I'm not gonna enjoy it as much. I am gonna enjoy it, but like I said, it's too much car. Like, with Carrera S, like, this is still too much car for me. Like, it has 500, almost, well, I think it's like 473 horsepower. That is a lot. And a lot of people think that's not a lot. It's like, oh, it's only 400. Let me tell you, when you put your foot down, this thing flies. Like, I am still learning my way how to control this absolutely amazing beast, and that's why I want to keep this. Like, I don't want to start out with too much power. That's how a lot of people end up in a ditch. So another thing that a lot of people hate on it but I actually love is the digital cluster. Like, to me, the digital cluster is perfect. I love it because you can have a lot of information displayed on there. Like, for example, when I'm on the track, I always have my tire temps, my tachometer in the middle, and then I have my vehicle status, like oil temps and all of that on the right, so I can monitor it. I'm sure you can do that with the old Dana 2.1 generations, but being able to rotate between the different displays, you can't just beat that. And let me show you what I mean. So, for example, when I'm on the highway, when I'm on a cruise control, and that's for like long road trips, I can easily change the display. So now, whenever I'm on the highway or it's on cruise control, this is my display. So it has a car. Right now, there's nobody beside me, but it will show whatever cars are around you. So when you're cruise control, I don't need to know what revs I'm going at, right? This is pretty simple enough, and you can change it a lot. Like, there's a GPS, which I never used, to be honest, because I use CarPlay. I use Google Maps, so I always have it up here instead of here. But yeah, there's a lot of displays you can rotate through, and it's never boring. Like, look at that. I don't know why people hate on it. Honestly, it's the best thing. And another thing that people really hate on is the start-stop button for some reason. Yes, it takes away that feeling of the key fob. I've never had that. I've never experienced that, so I don't know what I'm missing. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but a lot of the people that care about either the key fob or the analog display are the kind of people that don't drive it as much, or the kind of people that really just drive it to cars and coffee, and that's their only way of enjoying the car, is that little like analog feeling. Like, if you're driving this car as much as I am driving it, as much as I'm enjoying it, those little things don't really matter. What matters is the kind of power it puts down, like the handling, like the way it feels. That's what matters. That's what matters. Not this one little things. Bam. 9,000 miles. Like, sometimes I can't even believe I've driven it that much. But then again, like, I have been driving it non-stop every week. Let me actually put down where I'm going, because right now I'm just driving randomly. Just like, listen to that engine roar. Honestly, one of the best cars you can buy, probably. So I'm going to answer a lot of the questions that I've been getting a lot, and that's, how is it for daily driving? And honestly, so if I was to turn off the manual mode right now, right, put it on normal, so if you care about the sound of it, how it sounds, it completely dies down. Like, for example, like, I can be cruising on the highway, and sometimes you even forget that you're driving a sports car. Like, that's how quiet it is. Like, right now it's like 8th gear, not even 1,000 RPM, and it's just dead silent. Like, if you want that, then it can be that car. So it can be your daily driver. Like, you don't have to wake up your neighbors. You don't have to wake up your whole neighborhood when you drive through. Like, you can turn it off, you can put it in normal mode, you can put it, I guess if you have valve control, you can put it back in stock, and it would be silent. Like, sometimes when I'm cruising on the highway and I have it in normal mode, I feel like I'm driving an EV car. Like, you don't notice, like, you have 500 horsepower and you have this absolute beast of a car just hiding away, waiting to be unleashed. Yeah, like right now, like, just cruising is just absolutely silent. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I absolutely don't want to drive it in normal mode anymore, because I want that beast unleashed every single day, every single time that I'm driving. I want to hear that engine roar. I want to hear whatever turbo is pulling. I want to hear that engine roar every single day, every single time, because that's what I paid for, right? That's why you buy these cars. Not that just we can cruise around it, but so we can enjoy it, driving it. So, other question that I get is, how is the fuel economy on this car? So the fuel economy, again, can be based on how you drive it. For example, when I'm driving at the track, I get 10 miles per gallon, and that's because I have a Sport Plus and I'm driving it aggressively. If I'm just driving a long road trips, I get about like 24 miles per gallon, which is pretty good. And given the fact that I have the extended fuel tank, I have a lot of range. I can go almost 450 miles on a full tank of gas. So with that in mind, one of the other questions that I get often is, why did you pick the Carrera S over the 4S? And I've said this a lot, and the main reason, honestly, is this is my first ever sports car, and I wanted a rear-wheel drive, because having a rear-wheel drive is so much fun. Like, driving an autocross on the track, like, you can play around with the rear-wheel drive easily, and for that reason, I absolutely love it. And number two, probably the deciding factor why I went over the S, is the fact that you cannot get the extended fuel tank with the 4S. Because of the all-wheel drive, that's not an option you can pick. For me, that was a deal breaker, because you get almost 6 gallons of tank extra. That's huge. That's almost 1/3 of what I have right now. So being able to get that 22 gallons of fuel tank was much more priority for me than getting the all-wheel drive system. So that's the reason I got the S. Now, enough talking. Let's do some driving. How can you not drive your car? If you have a 911 and you're not driving it, just sitting in the garage, what are you doing? Because it is so much fun to drive it. Like, oh my god. Like, even right now I'm not driving it because I'm so focused on talking, but like at the track, like, I love taking it to the track because you can see it come alive. Like, you unleash the beast inside and just hear that flat six scream. That is the best feeling, to be honest. Oh my god. Look at that beautiful scenery. Absolutely amazing. So a lot of people comment saying, why did you get a Carrera S when you could have gotten a GTS? But what they don't understand is the 992.2 Carrera S is basically a 992.1 GTS. You got the same engine, same horsepower, you have the same brakes. So it's pretty much getting a GTS wrapped in a Carrera S badge. And that's probably what sets it apart from other generations. This is how I'll be racking up my miles, because I'm out here driving almost in the middle of nowhere on a random Tuesday afternoon, because why not? You got the car, you got your help, go enjoy it. Live a little, like drive it. So I have now taken this car to track events so far. So both times it was a 3-day weekend, and I absolutely loved it. I did great. If you haven't watched those videos, I guess my chocolate video, go watch it. I'm currently working on the Better Willow video. I'm doing a lot of editing, so that should be up on the channel pretty soon. But yeah, this car as a total monster on the track. And some of the things that I get asked about is how is it for a daily driver? And honestly, that's great. I love it. I don't like driving it in this city because, one, there's a lot of bumps in the city, right? And driving it below speed limit, driving it like 30-40 miles per hour is not fun, let's be honest. Like, it is very boring, it's very limited, and you don't enjoy it. So I would say, as a commute car, not really a great car. I mean, you can do it, it's doable, and the reason I'm saying it's not a great car is not because it's not capable, but like for me personally, this car is meant to be driven. It's meant to be driven at high RPMs, and just, you're supposed to drive it hard. You're not supposed to tame it and try to drive it at like 2,000 RPM. It's not fun that way. So for that reason, I would say it is not a good daily driver if you're driving at 30 miles per hour, just commuting between home and work. For me personally, I work remotely, so my driving is mostly just for fun. Even that said, like, I drive it in the city sometimes. I don't like it because it's very bumpy. And let's be honest, I don't like being out near other cars because a lot of the cars are pretty much careless drivers. So you gotta be very extra careful, you gotta be extra cautious, and you gotta always be alert. You gotta be checking your mirrors, your side mirrors, your rear view mirrors, your front. You gotta look ahead. So you gotta do a lot of like active driving and I guess defensive driving with a car like this. Otherwise, who knows what might happen. So that's why, like, I always love to take it on a road trip. I love taking it outside the city. I don't like to hang out in the city. I always just drive it out, get out as soon as possible, and then just enjoy the open road. But other than that, if you prefer to just daily drive it and drive it to work, it's a great car too. Assuming you're gonna drive it on the road pretty hard on the weekends. If that's the case, I would say get it. If that's not the case, yeah, I would say get a better car or get it something else. And one thing I've loved about this car, I guess it's not the car really, is since I bought this car, I have been really engaged in the car community. I've been really engaged in like motorsports. So I mentioned I've done autocross now almost twice. So I've done autocross twice now. I've taken to the track twice, and with my old car, I would have never done that. So having this car, I'll say, really changed my day-to-day, like what I do, how I spend my weekends. Like I bought this car with the purpose of driving it across the U.S. Right? Most of you might know that, but I bought it with a vision of driving it across the U.S., different states, different places. I'll say I'm still gonna do that, but now I love the motorsports overall. Yeah, driving at 9,000 miles in 4 months is just amazing. It is a privilege, and I am happy. I love it. I would not trade it for any other car. It is probably one of the best cars out there. And I'm saying that because I daily drive it. I have taken it to the track. I have taken it to autocross. I've taken it across a road trip. And I am going to go a road trip pretty soon too. So I will say I am more than qualified to speak for it, because I've spent a lot of hours with it. And it is just an amazing car. Like, handling is perfect. Everything about it is perfect. The one thing I would nitpick on is the sound. I wish they made a much sounding better car. So a lot of you have been asking me what's next. So I'll say picking San Diego as my first destination was a mistake, because I cannot seem to just leave this place. It's just perfect in every single way. The car community here is amazing. The roads are amazing. The weather is amazing. The people are amazing. And yeah, I'll say this should have been my final destination, not my first destination. Because once you come to San Diego, you can't just leave. You can't just go to somewhere else. So that's one of the reasons I've been here for the past 3 months, even though I bought this car with the purpose of driving across the U.S. I stayed much longer on my first destination. But what's next? So what's next is I am heading over to Monterey at the end of the month. So I'm going to be staying in Monterey for a couple of weeks. And after that, I am going to go over to the Pacific Northwest, probably Oregon or Washington, because I want to explore the national parks in that area. I want to go Mount Rainier. I've been to Olympic and I've been to North Cascades, but I want to spend a lot more time in that area. One thing I'm very skeptical about is the weather. I hope it doesn't rain, and it's one of the reasons I still have my Goodyear F1 asymmetric 3s. And the reason I didn't get any track tires is because if I'm heading to the Pacific Northwest, I don't want to be caught in the rain with track tires. So that's why I still have my OEM street tires, and I'm probably going to keep it. I think after the last track day, my ears are kind of going out of life, so I'll probably have to replace my rear tires. And that was probably a good time to mention that the reason I'm going to Monterey is, one, so I can explore the Pacific Coast Highway, and number two is because I am going to be driving on Laguna Seca, the famous racetrack with one of the PCA, the Porsche Club, and it's going to be an amazing day. So be on the lookout for that video. I'm going at the end of June, so it might be some time before that video comes up. But make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that video. In the meantime, I'm gonna post that Better Willow video. Yeah, Better Willow was amazing. I had some few incidents, but overall it was an amazing weekend. I loved it. I had great instructors. I learned a lot. And yeah, my goal is to keep going to racetracks at least once a month. I want to track this car at least once a month. And now, given the fact that I'm going to be traveling, getting out of San Diego, I want to hit, I guess, all the racetracks I come across. So Laguna, and then if I end up in Oregon or Washington, I'm going to probably drive I guess whatever tracks are up there. And when I come back to Utah, there's a racetrack in Utah I want to drive on. So yeah, a lot of tracks that I want to drive on. So it's going to be very, very interesting. So make sure to stay tuned, subscribe. And that was pretty much it. It's getting dark, so I am going to head home. And I will see you on the next one.